Okay, so today we're going to be talking about graphing a linear equation when you're given a point and the slope. So you have a point and you have the slope of that line. Okay? And let's see what this looks like. Graph the lines with the following points and slopes, but start by plotting the point and then count to a second point. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. We're given a point, 3, 1. We go 3 over and 1 up. Plot our point, and then we're going to just use our slope to go to the next point. So 1, 2 up, 1, 2, 3 over, and that is our line. Let's make it pretty. So it's nice and neat. And that linear equation is graphed. All right, let's try another one. So I just want to make that a little bit bigger for you guys. We're going to go to -2. So 1, 2 over, 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Plot your point, and then use the slope to calculate where the next point is. 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to draw a line in between them, and I will make it neat. And that's it. That's our line. Okay? Not too bad. So this is similar. We're given a point and a slope. Plot the point -5, 1 and create a line with a slope of -3, 4. All right, so I'm going to plot the line. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, -5, 1 down. Oh, sorry, it was 1 up. Ah, Miss B. 1 up. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 over, and that is our second point. The equation of this line can be written in a form called point slope, which looks like this. So what I'm curious is, this is the equation of this line. And what is the connection between the graph and the equation? Well, okay, let's first look at the slope. And I'll do this with colors. The slope is very easy to find in this equation. It's right here. All right, no problem there. Okay, that is the slope, which is represented always by the letter M. What about this x value? We have x is equal to -5. And I see an x here, but this doesn't say -5. It says +5. Okay, that's something to keep in mind. What about here? I have this 1. Well, here's the y, and this says -1, but that was +1. Well, maybe this x is x minus -5? And of course, that is exactly what it is. The general formula for a point slope form of the equation is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, where m is slope and x1 comma y1 is a point, any point on the line. So once you can pull this point from this equation, you can use the slope to calculate to the next point. So it's called point slope, obviously, because you're given a point and a slope. And it can be tricky because x is the first thing that you write down, right? Like a point is written like this, x, y. But in this formula, x is on the right-hand side. So that's a little odd. So that has to go over this way. And y is going to come over this way. So that's one thing that makes it tricky. The other thing that makes it tricky is these minus signs, right? So you need to change the sign when you pull from the equation. Let's try a couple so we can see what we're talking about. Okay, let's take a look at this. I'm going to start by highlighting a couple things, knowing that I need to look for the slope first. So I'm going to highlight the slope in here. But that's a little dark. Maybe I'll do it a little lighter than that. Let's do it later. Why? It just doesn't want to go away, huh? Here we go. Okay, so here's our slope. All right, so the first thing I'm going to write down, m is equal to negative 3 over 2. That is pretty straightforward to pull from the equation. All right, now let's look for this point. I want the x value, so I'm going to look for that first, and that was on the right-hand side of the graph, of the equation, right? And remember that we need to change the sign. So the formula says it's x minus x sub 1. So what would this be? It would be the opposite sign, and x minus negative 2 is the same thing as x plus 2. So our x value is going to be negative 2. And now let's look for our y, which is going to be right here. And remember, the formula says y minus whatever your y value is. And this one says minus, so we know I don't have to change the sign here. Well, I changed the sign, and it's positive 4. So we're going to plot our points, or I should say plot our point, negative 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4 up, and then use the slope, 3 down, 2 over, 3 down, 2 over, 3 down, 2 over, and then connect the lines. Well, how can we check this? Well, we can check it in Desmos, right? We've learned how to check a lot of things in Desmos, so I'm going to show you how to check that again. Okay, so I'm going to type in exactly what I was given. Y minus 4 equals negative 3 over 2 times x. Oh, whoops. Doesn't want to navigate out. There we go. Plus 2. That was the original equation that we were given. The point that we found, this is important to put into, was negative 2, 4. So we want to make sure that negative 2, 4 is on this line. And here it is, and we can see this on the line. We're going to label it so that we can see it. And we also have our line crossing at our x-intercept. We have an x-intercept of 0, 1. And sure enough, when we graphed it, that was what we had as well. There it is. So our work is correct. Let's try another one. So I'm going to start by identifying the slope, which is here, negative 1 over 2. And then I'm going to be looking for my point. I have x minus 4, so that's going to be a positive 4. And I have y plus 3. So we have to remember y plus 3, that's the same thing as y minus negative 3. So my y value is negative 3. I'm going to go 4 over and 3 down, plot a point, and I'm going to use my slope to move to the next point, 1 down, 2 over, and that's all I need to draw my line. And I'm going to check that with Desmos. You can see here that I started with y plus 3 equals negative 1/2 times x minus 4, which is what I typed right here into Desmos. The point we found was 4, negative 3, so I included that as well. And you can see that our graph matches the one that we drew. All right, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.